It's that time again. It's Monday, and I'm recording my second video for my newsletter vlog. And I am hoping that if you're watching this, you found the first video to be of value and it planted some seeds for you to consider and to view things a little bit differently with regards to forgiveness. To follow up on my video on forgiveness, today I want to talk about guilt and how more often than not, and from my experience personally, as a mother, as a leader, as a coach, that many people walk around with boatloads of guilt that are weighing them down. Guilt over what they should have done when they were in 5th grade. Guilt over how they treated somebody in the supermarket. Guilt over the choice that they made to take a drink. And what I know to be true is that guilt is an emotion that can really keep you stuck in repetitive behaviors and cycles that really don't serve your overall growth and expansion. And so what I am coming on today to talk about is how guilt as an emotion creates an energy within you. And that energy is a really low vibrating energy. So it kind of keeps you really stuck and feeling heavy and, just yucky, right? Overall, you just don't feel good. And when you are stuck in the emotion of guilt, which generally produces the emotion shame, it's really hard for you to create that positive momentum to see long-term consistent changes in your behaviors and how you experience the world. And so this is my loving message for you all today. Whatever it is that you are ruminating on, that you are holding on to, that you think you're worthy of feeling badly about yourself for, I ask you to let it go. I ask you to consider a different possibility. What if the anger that you displayed at the cashier is a catalyst for you to look at why it is you showed up angry in the first place and gives you the ability to learn yourself a little bit more? What if when you were in 5th grade and you treated that person poorly, you were just operating from beliefs that you had at that time that you wouldn't have known to question? And can you forgive yourself but remove that guilt, that feeling that makes you feel like you're bad? Because the reality is you're not bad. There is nothing that you have ever done in your lifetime that is worth you condemning yourself to feeling guilty and stuck in shame for whatever amount of time you have left to experience in this human form, right? And so it's a difficult process because we don't always know why we feel guilty, right? We know that we feel bad. We know that we think that we're not as good as the person next to us. But we don't always know what exactly it is that we feel stuck in shame about, stuck in guilt about. And so it takes being brave and examining some of your thinking and how you're experiencing your emotions. But I promise you that if you get just a little bit curious and you ask yourself about a specific situation, then you can free yourself from those emotions that have probably been trapped within you for many years. And so I'll give you a real personal example. When I was probably in 5th grade, I was really lonely. I was always unique. I always spoke my truth. But as a result, that kind of left me as an outcast, right? An outlier. And so I was craving craving attention and affection from anybody. I didn't get it at home, so I was going to try to get it in school. Well, for me in 5th grade, my idea of getting that was buying people off. And so what I did was I would steal coins from my parents, and then I would buy people candy from the penny candy store, or I would give them money just because I wanted so desperately to have connection, right? And so for many years in my life, I felt like I was a horrible person, and I really berated myself, and because I had stolen, right? And I never considered why it was I had made that choice in the first place. And when I started to get curious about my actions and why I had done what I had done for a prolonged amount of time, I realized, it was just a little girl who wasn't getting my needs met and getting that connection I needed at home or in school. And so I made that choice to try to create that connection. And so I recognized that that wasn't a behavior that was good for me, right? Because it kind of perpetuated further choices that helped me spiral into addiction. But when I was really able to look at it from a different perspective, I realized that I no longer needed to feel guilty. I could forgive myself, and I could release that burden that I had carried for years and years and years. And for me personally speaking, my truth is always helpful. And so I had an open conversation with my parents about that, and we were able to reconcile how I had, made choices that took away from them. But sometimes you can't. And when you can't, that's okay too. With my clients, I recommend writing letters and burning them. If you feel like you owe somebody an apology, so that way you can release yourself from that guilt, do that. Find some way, maybe tell a friend who can love you unconditionally and won't judge you. But whatever you need to do, whatever feels right for you, the end goal is to release you from that feeling of guilt. Because once you're free from that, you have an opportunity to feel lighter. And when you feel lighter, then you're open to trying new experiences. You're open to connecting with new people because you haven't condemned yourself and made it so you feel like you're unworthy of that. And so I hope this was helpful. Again, please share with me anything you want me to talk about. I am very knowledgeable and wise in many, many things, including addiction, mental health, physical health, and I would be happy to touch upon any subject that you all need me to talk about. So I hope this was helpful. I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, and have an amazing week.